Okay, so while many people say, "Oh wow, things are getting so much better," there are other people that are like not feeling the love. Okay, can you be one of those people not feeling the love, if you will? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on my channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. And if you are a senior citizen or someone collecting on Social Security, the I understand this from research. This, not my numbers, but it's looking like. Let's call it looking like. Okay, I'm not saying this in exactitude because for some reason or another I feel it could be some change in the number, but I'm no expert in any way, shape, manner, or form. But from everything that I researched, okay, for those that are curious to know, it strikes me from what I've read that the cost of living increase, the COLA increase, the adjustment that you see on social in January, is going to be 2.5%. Ta-da! A bit underwhelming or a bit overwhelming? Nah, most of you are going to say, Jan, of course, underwhelming. Why does it feel more underwhelming? Well, it feels underwhelming because a lot of the prices around us are still kind of on the high side of things, no matter what may be improving in let's say other arenas. This is what we're told, okay? But a lot of us are not, quote, end of quote, feeling the love, like I suggested in the beginning of this audio video. By the way, how you doing today? How are you adjusting to things with prices, okay? And if you will be anticipating, that COLA, the adjustment, the cost of living adjustment in January, how are you feeling about that? Are you feeling like, Jan, don't spend it all in one place? Are you feeling like, well, add it to the every little bit helps? Okay. Or, gee, I wish it was better. And how come it's not higher? Yeah, well, can I say something? All of those feelings, in my opinion, are absolutely, absolutely understandable. They are absolutely understandable because, like I said, we hear all this great stuff about all this good other stuff supposedly going on. I do find it rather, interesting certain things at this moment in time in the process of recording this video. This is in the middle of September of 2024. At least for the moment, gas prices have been going down a little bit, which is very helpful, because then that does contribute to the every little bit helps theory of relativity. You see where I'm going with this, but we also have to be responsible too, okay? We have to be aware of the wallet leakers in our lives. We have to be aware of behaviors that we do that absolutely, well, cause our wallets to leak. Let's think about it, all right? But that's on us. We have to be aware of it, okay? And also, if we can reallocate monies that go to wasteful things versus going to needed things, again, the wants and the needs. And I could talk about that till kingdom come. And some people get the it factor right away, and yet other people, it just doesn't matter to them that much. But I also noticed that it's the same type of person that says, "What happened? How come I can't make ends meet?" kind of thing. You want to know a secret? And I mentioned this briefly in a very short, no frills video not long ago. There are two things to never, ever, ever forget. I'm going to reiterate it for those that missed it because it's very simplistic, okay? They're very simplistic points. Simplistic yet vital points, okay, when it comes to financials. When we deal with financials, we deal with numbers, and numbers are part of what? Math, okay? So if we get the basic understanding that math is a fact, okay? Math is an absolute fact. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4. Okay. 20 divided by 5 will equal 4. 3 plus 1 will always equal 4. Notice the answer is always 4, but I arrived at it in three different manners through the magic of math. But math is not magical. Math is a fact. But Jan, what does this have to do with financial? A lot. Okay, and the other thing is to always, always, always make it a point to live within or below your means. And I'm telling you, in my life experience, anytime that I made it a point on purpose, and that's just my lifestyle. So for me, it's like rote. It's like just normal part of my life. I always live below or within my means. There's no question about it. I don't even think about it. because it actually is the easiest for me, talking about me, but I would imagine that it would work for you because math is a fact. Living below your means is a matter of math. Living within your means is a matter of math. Don't go above and beyond what you do not or cannot afford in one's budget. Oh, budget? Yeah, that thing that you look at and stare at the numbers every so often. Yeah, that way you're not like afraid of the numbers and you're friends with the numbers. Numbers can actually be our friends. And since math is a fact, this is where the friendship comes alive. Math is a fact. If I spend more than what I have, if I rely on credit cards all the time to get me through things, and then I have to figure out, wait a minute, I spent beyond my means, I can't back up to pay the credit card, what's that going to mean? It's going to mean nothing but trouble. I don't like that kind of trouble. I don't like falling into the rabbit hole of DEBT, which to me is the beginning of problems. And I know I'm right on that. And I'm sure many of you listening right now understand that. You see where I'm going with this. But the cost of living, here's the problem too. Many people experience that they're not getting enough raises on their jobs. Okay. The hourly rates are not moving in the right direction for them. Okay. And the prices around them are still going up anyway with certain issues, certain things that you need, like groceries. Okay. Or just, like non edible groceries, things that you need other than that, like shampoo, beauty supplies, personal things of that nature, things you cannot ingest. Okay. But that goes up just as well with it. And if your income is not matching that, then there's a conflict. And whenever there's a conflict, there's what? A disagreement within oneself and a problem. So that is not a fun place to be. And then what do people do out of habit right off the bat? Out of habit, good old plastic, but not their debit card, but their credit card. Now, don't get me wrong. Credit cards do have their rightful place. And if handled properly, it is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Not talking about the card holder that does the correct thing and they pay their bills right away. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about card holders who really, they just, sometimes people make a lot of impulsive decisions and they're not even aware of what is going to happen. They just, oh, I'll keep ordering lunch out because I can't walk, even though they're working from home. This always makes me laugh. Working from home person that can't seem to make it to the refrigerator, even if it's filled up with food, not talking about those occasions when it's not, but even if it's, filled up with a ton of food, will not make a sandwich. But no, it's more fun, of course, to charge sandwiches on a credit card. And I'm not referring to the person that can, in fact, afford it. I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to the person that seems to fall into the rabbit hole of debt. Everyone knows that, when they get to that breaking point when it's just not good. We don't want anyone to get to that breaking point. So this is why the heads up about the cost of living adjustment, if you're on social, it's not going to be as high as the previous years. I understand for what I checked that they base it on like inflation and, within the last few months of the year. I don't know, something to that effect. That's how they arrive at that number. So at this moment in time in September, mid-September, it is my understanding from what I researched, not Janet making up the number, but the numbers that I found, 2.5%. If there's any such change, just to let you know, in our favor, that would be great. But it's looking like more than likely just sort of plan, even if there is a little better number, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be fixed at 2.5%. On this day that I am recording this audio, we're also waiting to hear, because I record ahead of time, waiting to hear about federal interest rate cuts. So this should be very, very interesting. And ever notice how the market is always in a big, big, big green sign whenever you hear about interest rates getting cut. So let's see what happens with that. Wishing everyone the best. But you know what? Always take that extra minute to think about your own personal finances. Okay. What might work for Jane may not work out for Jack. What may work for Janet may not work out for you. You see where I'm going with this. Take that minute. And it takes a little concentration and a little bit of peace and quiet. I know when we were kids, we used to love to turn up, well, my generation anyway, turn up the radio, blast it loudly, play records and tell and insist and tell our parents we do our homework way better when the record player is loud. But when you're a little bit older, okay, just saying, it doesn't necessarily always work. Okay. So wishing everybody an amazing, fantastic day. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate everyone's time. Don't forget to come back at midnight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Midnight for my no frills video, which is supposedly always less than 5 minutes. I try, but it's definitely more than 1 minute. And usually, hopefully always, there's a very good point, at least for one person listening. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Don't forget to click like. Clicking like is really, really important. I really appreciate that. Clicking like, sharing. Thank you so much. And of course, consider subscribing. Have a great day.